And good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Capping TV. My name is Just Jazz, coming back on Capping TV for my first time in like 3 years at 4:15 a.m. Central Standard Time in North America. We are here for the LAN Downunder Qualifiers. What an exciting event. I am so stoked to be here, especially at 4:15 in the morning.
God bless if you're waking up.
And, well, I'm going to introduce our people, who we got on the mic tonight. So we got Turris, which is actually the first time I'm actually casting with Turris, which is a great honor, and making our return for the first time in a long time, Luggnuts, who is just totally dripped out there down in, where are you at, Auckland these days? Wellington? Who knows where Luggnuts is at? An undisclosed location. Gentlemen, how are we both tonight?
I'm great.
I killed. I will kill again.
Let's quickly look at the bracket. So,
I can't take him seriously, by the way.
We've got Bossy Burger versus Salt Free. Salt Free got here by losing to Slay World, and Bossy Burger got here by losing to Exodia. So that's Bossy Burger losing to the 3rd seed and Salt Free losing to the 8th seed. So, Bossy Burger are my favourites, I think. Jazz and Luggnuts.
I mean, their name's pretty cool, honestly.
It's a pretty cool name. It's a good
Yeah,
chain as well.
I was having a look at some of the rosters, and like, there are actually some names I recognize.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh, R Lucky. Oh man, Soul Res, and then the rest I kind of vaguely remember.
A mishmash of some new Prem players and some older experienced players like R Lucky. Half of these guys played high Prem with the Ascension team, so Cobra, Zobel, and Smezzer I think is even playing tonight as well. So I'm pretty hopeful for them.
Hallucinating. Or is that Snazzy I see on one of the teams?
It is
Snazzy is
Snazzy.
on Salt Free Gaming. I don't think he's playing tonight. Unfortunately.
No, he's playing tonight.
Is he?
He's on the server right now.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, they were looking for mercs for a while. Looks like they have 12 now.
They are
They're all
truly
good.
desperate, indeed.
They actually are. And we should talk about that the winner of this goes on to play Temp, and that is for one of the slots to qualify. Quickly looking at the vetoes. Gonna do them, Jazz?
Yeah. So we have a pick ban process that every team has to go through to determine what maps they want to be playing. So Bossy Burger Esports banned Reckoner first, followed by Salt Free banning Bagel, which then led to Bossy Burger Esports picking Product, our first map of the night, a King of the Hill map, and then Salt Free coming with the wild card pick, picking Badlands. Blast from the past.
Interesting.
Bossy Burgers ended up banning Granary, Salt Free banned Gully Wash, and we are going to finish the night on CP Sunshine if we go to 3 maps. So 3 classics, 3 of the best maps we love to see. And starting on the King of the Hill map too, so a lot of DM, a lot of opportunity just to just to leash your scouts and have them rip. Luggnuts, you used to play TF2. What do you remember about Product?
Well, what I remember about Product is that this map is brutal for blast
Luggnuts, you gotta hit
classes.
the push to talk, dude.
I'm hitting the push to talk. I have no idea what's going on. Can you
Oh,
hear
I can hear. I can hear.
All right, perfect. So what I remember from Product is that it was absolutely brutal for your blast classes. Apart from Demon Man, they used to rack it up. I'm sure it's still the same now. Game hasn't changed that much. This scout-led map, clearly. So seeing it's a pick from, I completely forgot the team's name, but
Bossburger, I think, pick this one.
Yeah, Bossburger. There we go. Then I'm assuming that they've got competent scouts here.
Great scouts.
So well, we have the exact opposite with the Badlands pick from. We have the exact opposite from Badlands pick from Salt Free Gaming, of course, because that's a traditionally soldier heavy map. So
also the Boomer map, which Salt Free they are.
Doesn't make sense, actually.
Yeah, that's the only edge they have, is that this map has not been played in any region for a long time. Actually, I think it's played in the Brazilian league, but I don't know about any of the North American, Australian, or European leagues.
Jazz, you know a lot about the Brazilian league, right?
I think he's fixing his mic, maybe.
Oh, no.
It's all right. I think, Product, I'm going to say, look, it should be a really big domination from Smazza and Zobal. Badlands could go a bit more interestingly.
I really hope I'm not being talked to because I am having
Like we are
issues
actually
with plenty
getting
at the
you
moment.
guys can still hear me right now,
Wait.
right?
I can hear you. Yeah.
Luggnuts, you're gonna have
Okay,
to take us through
perfect.
these mids, by the way.
All right. Well,
Go
we
ahead,
are
Lug.
starting the mid here. We're having. I'm on the right POV right now.
Brady's already sniping,
Wait,
by
no,
the
it's
way.
Catfish POV. So that's yep. We get a little bit of early damage across the midpoint as usual from the demos. Unfortunately,
Brady already got the
Catfish
pick.
goes down very quickly. That's Soldier bombing in now onto the combo. So I mean, right now things are looking pretty grim for Salt 3. They're not really having a good time.
2 picks apiece. If Brady can just get something, they'll be all right. But he does get picked up quickly by both the scouts we mentioned, and that's the mid, I think.
Exactly. I think just that pick on the demo was just all that was required, honestly. He didn't really need to do much more after that one. But unfortunately for him, just the rest of the team couldn't really capitalize on it just quite enough.
They're able to chase the medic at the end there as well, so this is now full ad. They're getting these late deaths as well, which is not great when you want to be the team defending the cap. Salt Free will get faster spawns here to go into it, but they'll be running into Michael's full Uber eventually.
Yep, sack.
And they
doesn't
sack
quite
off
work out
that, yeah.
there. Well, they do have a plan behind.
They get a pick off of
Nail.
it from the sniper, and this is still all good trades as well with the defense advantage, but still Michael with Uber, and Brady does get dealt with.
Alright, there we go. So it's going to look like we're going to have well, that's a trap taking a Cobra there. Pretty good. Was that a trap from Cap?
I think
Or
so,
just
yeah.
spam? Yeah, that was
And,
a pretty damn good trap.
Michael was hiding all the way cliff in the anti-sack position. He's come out now, now that player's been picked, but they're taking the Uber in now with Ping.
Now, I don't think there's quite Uber, of course, but I mean, Medic is getting out, so he should be alright.
Yeah.
Lots of kills, but I mean, they're going to have to get splits out. Unless they
Yeah,
can get an
2
overforce.
picks, not the end of the world, but they'll be leapfrogging this, and Lampshade will get the Uber back into this. Not quite yet, but they have time to walk in now. Already going through Cliff. Brady's still sniping, getting good space for them, Brady, on Cliff now. Traditionally a really good sniper, Brady. I know he was playing Highlander back when he played.
Not actually sure I recognize it now. I feel like a boomer.
Yeah.
I don't know anyone anymore. We do have players being taken down here, so 2 down already on the side of blue. Red will be pushed through. Catfish did die
Uber
with
does get
trap
force
cover.
as well.
That's
Oh,
so
great
rough.
air headshot from Brady.
Oh no. Yeah, that's going to be really rough. You're going to get the cap here, but I mean, this recap's pretty imminent. They didn't manage to get the medic. They didn't even really get any kills, honestly. Plus, the slow spawns on their demo man means that they might not even win this push if it comes to it. In fact, they probably won't. Is that a sack coming in though?
Oh, I think so. They're all just taking this fast fight to deny the sniper, but they've actually been defended against really well. Yeah, both those players dying, and sniper didn't even have to get a pick there. They don't quite have their Uber ad yet, and this is going to delay them, maybe giving Snazzy time to build Uber before this fight.
Yeah, I feel
Actually,
like that
Cobra's
was.
going to snipe and spawn. Oh, he's changed his mind.
I feel like there was a bit of a disorganized push there. You know, we had this soldier going in really early, and of course, didn't go too well for him.
They're just bombing in with
GCU.
the Uber. They do get Catfish straight away. Snazzy not quite getting, but I think he will be leaving and getting out. And Brady gets a great pick onto Smazza. They're going to refight this. They pick off Cobra as well. This is really good.
Yeah, this is
Brady
fantastic.
popping off.
You're going to be able to refight this at the very least, unless you have some insane plays from this demo man here. But no, not quite. They're 3 players down, so at this stage, they're just looking to make sure they get the medic out.
Just hiding from Brady now. That's some solid
Hey,
time
can
from
you
Soul
hear
Free.
me now?
I can
We
hear you.
can hear you, Jazz.
Oh, let's go. I
Let's
figured
go.
out my audio issues. I apologize, everybody. I can finally pay attention to the game. Let's do this.
It's going all right.
Welcome to CappingTV indeed, lads.
The Brady sniper is honestly keeping them in the game right now. Looks like they're just going to be delaying for the Uber so they can do that big push again after that pings to death. Ara Lucky is going to go in for some pressure himself. He manages to get out and they get the pick off of that. So this is good space now for Bossburger. They better get some cap time. They actually pick off Brady from behind, Cobra going behind. And they're also getting Uber themselves right now. So this will be a good fight, I think, for Bossburger. They'll be able to trade these Ubers. They do drop Zobal during this, but even at the end of this is still player ad for Bossburger, and they should be able to catch these players Uber fading on the point. Catfish manages to pick off Cobra right before he dies, which is a good clutch, but still looking like slight player ad for Bossburger. Pushing them out now, they're getting more cap time. Brady's only spawning now to get something.
So, that
But
Uber
Medic
did
dies
go
straight away from the
perfectly.
Brady pick.
Well, there you go. Yeah, things are actually looking pretty hard for Boss at the moment because that Uber didn't go perfectly for them, I gotta say. And the sack didn't quite manage to get that one at either. So they're bleeding a lot of players here. They are keeping the opponent off the point though, so they are getting a lot of time on it.
As soon as they cap, they are all exposed on the cap, and Brady respawns, able to pick them off. So they get the recap straight away, and this is with Libra out after that med pick. So now Zobal's sniping.
There you go. I feel like they were really betting on their scouts here, but I feel like rather than try to match them on that, they're just playing the sniper game.
Playing the sniper game, which is the right call. Absolutely the right game plan coming into this. And actually, Sean's done a great job picking off Zobal, keeping this sniper in for them. And as long as they keep their space here and deny a sack, Brady will be able to keep picking them off.
But a big... Yeah, we've got Uber ad now, I believe, on the side of Salt 3, right?
Oh, great pipe from Catfish. They actually...
Yeah, they
Michael
actually
creators off that.
And they pick up the med
from
too.
Catfish. He's killed 3.
Catfish just going massive right there. Yeah, now they do have... they're going to have Uber advantage going into what could be the last fight of the game here too. All they have to do is just keep their players alive, because losing your players while holding the point is not very good. And there actually are some bombs coming in. Here comes the repressure. It looks like they're content. It looks like they're content just to give up the point a little bit. Now they're starting to refight, dropping players. The Uber is not up
Go either
yet.
way. We need Brady to hit something.
I feel like there was an absolute breakdown in communications from Salt 3 there. It felt like half the team wanted to sit there and fight the points if they could make it. The other half wanted to just pull back, play it safe, build their Uber advantage, and then re-push on the point with full Uber. But unfortunately, they kind of did both and neither, which meant that they've lost that Uber advantage, and they've lost the point as well.
You know what? This was even, but actually Michael's on crits. So we're looking at crits in this last second here on Pankster. And here they go, one sticky miss. Actually not finding anything, he does find a scout, but he'll get picked off. This is going okay for Salt 3 after they get Uber here. But this C9...
But they didn't play the point.
No!
They actually won that round.
Yeah, they just went all off the point there. Because, your Uber hard counters your crits. That's always
that is such a shame.
But you have to actually play the point.
Brady's staying sniper though.
I think it's a good choice from them still.
Yeah, if it's working, it's working. And we all know sniper on this map can be so oppressive.
We might need to fix the team names because FIFA Kids is not playing. It's Bossy Burger. Brady's not being pressured yet. Still free and clear. If they actually pick off Zobal running off the boxes there, Brady finally is dealt with. But this is kind of even plays apiece.
Yep, I mean, I'm pretty sure we're going to have to see a hard retreat here from Kingston and the medic. Which means free point for Salt 3. Well, not quite free, they did lose 3 players, but I mean, they will have Uber to defend this with, and their players, so pretty good start from them.
And they have space for Brady to get these entries, and he's been really scaring them to walk in. They've kind of been very delayed by this.
Definitely going to have to see a sack play here, I think. Unless they want to go for an Uber trade, but I don't really know if you want to try doing that with Sniper.
Oh, here they go with the trade. Aralucky's behind.
They're going for the trade.
Yeah, they had to pop early though. They did manage to get a scout in there, but they lost Lucky, so I don't know if they're going to be able to actually do this afterwards. Demo is so low.
Cobra's bombed in. He might pick up Snazzy. No, Snazzy lives. Snazzy lives on 20 HP or so, by the way, as well. It's going to be enough just to push them out, at least for a little bit. Now the refight is, they're starting to come back in. Brady's just a long sight line on Michael Soup, and the headshot rings out, picking him down. And now it's just going to be an all-in for Snazzy, who's well protected in this this cliffside area. Got to be careful because it's still Cobra and R Lucky bombing in right now.
Brady
They're just
survives
getting hard denied. Yeah, and Brady untouchable at the moment too. But now Panks is actually bombing in.
I feel like your sack plays are a lot better when your opponent has a sniper, but your trade plays aren't as good because they have to pop so much earlier. So I feel like, the best play for Bossy over here is just to play the sack game a lot heavier, right? Because the sniper can't really defend.
Absolutely.
Yeah. I mean, right now they have a big Uber disadvantage, so there's no real downside. But right now, just leave a scout with your medic, sack everyone else, and yeah, like right now, there we go. They didn't quite manage to make the force though, because I think they didn't quite commit as hard as they could have. I mean, they still got Pigster in the back. They have a soldier as well behind. It's kind of like a two-player sack. It's just go with all of them. Why do you have any players left, right?
Yeah, absolutely. They need the whole team.
Yeah, just all team sack, because there's a sniper. You know, they're down one defensive player, pretty much. They have to hit a crazy headshot on a sack player to really make it.
Again, they're struggling to walk in. They're going to have to go from Cliff to dodge this Brady angle. They did get the trade out, but Brady's still picking off the uninhibited players behind them.
Problem is that, again, you've got this
not much
trade,
space
right,
forward.
where you have a much later pop on the side of Salt
Yeah,
Free.
and then you lose Pinkster straight away.
Yeah. And there we go. It's lost to Brady. I mean, they did get Wigan, but, you know.
This could go either way. Good angles for Brady here. This fight is happening all on concrete, and Brady is completely safe on Cliff.
Yeah, I think
He's being a little bit, could go either way though.
Cobra's bombing in now, but
I mean, Catfish
he
does go
almost
down there, so
lives
does Brady.
There you go, and they are dealt with, and this should be them getting the cap now.
Yeah, that was
But
actually a
Snazzy's
impressive turnaround
living
there,
once
yeah.
again. He's doing a great job surviving after his team dies every single time.
they're doing a good job, Salt Free, just whittling away the time to 1:10 left on the clock for them. Of course, Brady back up on the sniper. At what point do you think the sniper kind of gets in their head a little bit? Where it's just, he seems so, not so much invincible, but it's just near invincible, hard to kill, you know?
I think slowly they're discovering they cannot just single sack on the sniper. They need to bring the whole team.
Yeah,
And
I
I think it's going to get better over time.
they're just committing so hard to try to sort of send only small amounts of players. They're not really committing too hard to any whole team play here. You know, they're going for plays, they're going for these single sacks.
Force.
Oh, medic forced by the sniper angle.
Yeah,
but
just
still
going to
better
take
for
it
them.
on the
Still, yes,
solo
still
scout, but it could be Snazzy going down. If Snazzy does go down in that cliffside area. And so what looked to be real good for Salt Free Gaming in the initial part of this round is starting to collapse a little bit. Because Snazzy's down, Brady is down as well, and now it's just going to be an all-in for really whoever they can get, and hope to fight when the respawners come up. But the deaths are all staggered, so Snazzy's up, but he's only just now starting to build a little bit of Uber. It is going to be about a 30% advantage for old Michael Soup right there on Burger Esports. So, 30 seconds left. There's really no time to do any sort of sack wave. They've just got to take a raw fight here.
This is not a good fight to take you on. So much Uber disadvantage. You have a sniper, which, I mean, if you get a crazy pick, sure, but they can afford to hold a lot more aggressively into you because of it.
Random catfish pipe finds Michael there, so that Uber is no longer in the game, but Nancy does as well. So this is going either way. Brady not finding much again. I think a lot more pressure on Brady. He's struggling to find the picks now.
Yeah, I feel like that the Brady sniper is a good choice here. I feel like Bossberger has been slow to adjust to it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's one of those things where it either works in the moment or doesn't work in the moment.
You just got to hit the shots, and I think it's a great team plan that they've got for this. But it's Brady's struggling a bit this round compared to last, maybe.
Yeah.
But you can tell that they've started to wake up to a little bit too, and every time they start fighting, it's just like, we're going to send 2 soldiers to do something. Just cause a lot of chaos, a lot of havoc. Wigan going down as that first entry frag for Burger as well is not going to bode well for Salt Free. They do have to just make sure they really, I mean, they can't give up the point at this point because it is overtime.
Oh, great shot. Cobra
Brady's gone down. Cobra on the sniper too. And
it's actually, that was less Cobra and more the most atrocious bomb I've seen in my life.
He hit a really good pencil shot is what he hit.
He ran into the top of the beam over the viaduct, and yeah, that was rough. It's actually 2 rounds down now for Salt Free. It's weird because I feel like Salt Free has had a pretty good strategy going into this, which has been working pretty well for them. They just haven't
getting time down the clock. Much better than I would have expected, honestly. And Badlands might be even better.
I think they're just not really controlling sort of post-fight well enough.
Trades a piece. Brady's still sniping and not dead yet.
Catfish down though.
Okay, and they're dealt with this time. That looks like the mid.
Yeah, that's pretty dominant for the side of Bossberger. Snatch should get out of here fine, however, so I mean, they should be alright here. Depends, is Brady going to come up sniper? Yes, he will. That's an interesting play because I'd expect them to, you know, go for a sack play or something.
He can still sack play with a sniper. You just have to, while the chaos is happening, he just peeks from the cliff and, you know, kills the Met.
In fact, that might be a good idea because, you know, you're going to force your opponent to hold really far back. Right there. See, this is them executing perfectly. They force their opponents to hold really far back to try to avoid that sniper angle, right? They can't hold super aggressively, but then they just give free space to walk onto the point. Brady did get a kill, and they managed to force the Uber, so.
They are going to get the cap as well. As right on top of the demo.
I don't know
picks
about
up
that
paint,
cap
so
though. That's a bit of a suspicious cap because their spawns are now much slower, and that's going to allow Bossy to retake pretty successfully here.
I guess the argument could be made that it at some point just having time ticking off the clock is value in some sense or form.
Fair enough,
But-
especially because Sulfree hasn't really been playing the post fights that well, so maybe the time's better than just hoping on it, right?
Yeah, and then there has to be some focus on actually like regaining the cap versus just taking the fights one after another. So it could buy a little bit of pressure, but that happened 30 seconds ago. Now we're focusing on what's happening right now, and it's going to be Cobra as the first frag going down. Catfish can be traded in response, but no, it wasn't Brady. That was Catfish with the shoot from 3 type of pipe, picking up Michael. And then the scouts going down as well, so it's looking good for Salt Free. They've got to be careful of R Lucky flying around in the back line here. Could pop up at any given time, and now the bomb has come in, but Brady sees them. They've captured the point, but who was it? Dalton? Who's
That's
Dalton?
Sobel. That's Sobel.
Sobile. Should have gotten an alias config, but that's okay,
I'm on no config
Dalton.
default card. Things are rough right now for me, man.
Yeah. I love Tia too. But Salt
Cobra
Free
back
in
on the
control.
SVS now.
Is it an SVS? Oh,
Well,
the Cobra Sniper.
The
I
Cobra
still
Sniper.
have nightmares of that. My time in Oz Fortress.
Careful if you're pencil jumping. He'll come for you.
It feels like Lucky's doing a pretty good job in these post fights if he doesn't die like pretty early on to a Wigan, because they can't really afford so much to commit a player on top of them with the sniper there. They more have to just play sort of defensively with that.
Look like I'm watching Highlander, the SVS. Cobra wins it.
But it's just a lot of pressure from Salt Free on the cap right now. They're going to take an exchange, and Catfish is going to be dropped before the Uber has popped out. And actually, Snazzy
Nancy's
doesn't even
holding
have his
40
Uber.
health. Oh, the Uber's
So close.
that was so close.
I think that, if anything, was a pretty good cap from Sulfree, because I mean that's one of the times where things were going really badly, but you at least managed to get the cap, so a little bit of time off the clock is always nice. But now it's going to be see if they can recreate some success here. They have Uber disadvantage, but not massive Uber disadvantage. They can sort of try to play this to push Bossy Burger off the point again, especially now that Cobra's no longer a sniper. But neither is Brady, so.
Oh, Brady on
Brady
for
not
the
on
first
the
time in this
sniper.
game.
Holy crow.
This could change things.
This is how Salt Free wins this, and Snazzy dies. Never mind.
Yeah, they are cleaned up. I think the soldier's a bit grim. I did like the sniper. And this is just really rough. One fight here. They're walking into Michael's eventual Luberad. And they're dying very late as well.
Yeah, I'm not too sure exactly what Sean was doing there, but there was something going on. I'm sure he does get killed on Soldier, and they do manage to get quite a lot of space on the point here.
They get Uber just in time.
Comes out, yeah.
They get the
And-
Uber, but Snazzy, he is in no man's land, and that looks like it's going to be the round.
And
the first
as
map.
well.
Oh, great try from Free, honestly.
Yeah, it was a valiant effort, certainly. Where, I think the first round feasibly could have gone their way. Well,
I think
within
the
it.
second round could have
Second-
gone pretty well for them as well, honestly. It's just, I feel like they had a lot of dominance early on, and then near the end, things just kind of sort of fell apart.
Look, technically they won the first round. They just didn't cap the point.
True enough,
That's right.
actually,
That's right.
see,
That's
no.
right.
They actually won the round. They killed everyone.
Exactly.
I like how, by the way, we're going to Badlands now. I like how we're going to Badlands, but on the CappingTV graphic.
He's been cut
I
off.
saw,
He's been
I saw it,
erased.
Mitch.
They took him out in his prime. Okay, I can't actually see logs. Because, wow.
I've seen them
Cool,
on
I can just look
stream.
at the
Looks
stream.
like
Yeah, there we
Smazza
go.
had a great game. I really hope he's their scout at LAN. Otherwise, it's a bit sus. Bankster did great. We knew Bankster would do great. He's a fantastic demo. All of them performing. Brady, of course, keeping them in it. I didn't realize quite how little the disparity was between the players. I mean, both medics did great. Catfish, I know, was in the Ubers a lot trading. It's a bit non-meta, but it was working really well. Honestly, really close game. And I don't know if any of these Boss Burger players have even touched Badlands.
Yeah, I mean, I imagine.
For sure, the boomers on Salt Free have.
They absolutely have, you know.
I think maybe are lucky and like
Well,
maybe Smazzer and Pinkster probably.
Yeah.
I for whatever reason have in my head R. Lucky saying he loves Badlands back from when I played in Oz Fortress. So that's my only contribution there.
I don't have memory that old, honestly. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, all these things happened back in the days of Dust and Dinosaurs, you know. Well, speaking of dinosaurs, I do think that Snazzy was probably MVP for Salt Free that game. He did so much staying alive, we really shouldn't have. I think especially the second game second round would have been very one-sided if it wasn't for how often Snazzy just survived when he probably shouldn't have. Yeah, product aside, we are going on to Badlands now. So, Badlands, soldier heavy map, demo, okay-ish map, right? Like, it's pretty good for demos as well. Scouts usually suffer pretty badly on this. Now, have they changed it all, or is last still cap and 2 seconds flare?
I think it's a bit better now, and it's open. The glass is removed behind it. It's a version of ProLands. It's not the default one, but you know, they still have the same problems with the hallways and the doorways and the chokes.
Of course.
Scouts should struggle, and I do think that Zobal and Smaz are probably the best players on Boss Burger, so they will struggle even more on this one compared to last map.
Yeah, I feel like this is a pretty good pick for Assault Free. They'll, of course, know the map a lot more. I think his strength is a lot more in their soldiers than Bossy Burger. They definitely want to suppress those scouts, which I think is going to play out pretty well for them here. The thing that I'm a little bit concerned about, however, is your demo fights, because I'm not trying to, disparage anyone, but I feel like Pinkster has been, pretty on top of his game so far, and I'm not too 100% sure if, when it comes up to the matchup of Pinkster versus Catfish, if things are going to go too well in Salt Free's favor that way. So I feel like they're really betting on their soldiers to make it happen on this map. It's a lot of responsibility.
Now I'm curious, Turris, because I haven't kept up with Oz Fortress in 3 years. Something about moving back to America. With
that'll do
your
it
guys' config, obviously, like in America, there's been the switch to the Banny config.
We were trying the Banny config, but for LAN and Quals, it isn't the Banny config just because of, I think, scheduling concerns. So it's just
definitely. It's
just 30 minutes, win limit 5, and it will auto go to tie-breaking infinite time if it's tied, like just tiebreaker auto golden cap basically, but
interesting,
not Banny config.
Right.
Now, just I am curious as well. With the Banny config and the trials in Australia, what's been the reception there for league matches?
I think I might be biased, but I think ultimately people don't like really, really long games, which is what it's become. 50-minute, map is frustrating for people in Australia, I think.
Is it still something where you guys are playing 2 maps?
Yeah, because we play 2 maps, every time.
Yeah.
At least, best of 3s will be even longer in the Banny config.
Oh, looks up like one team's reached up at the very least.
And Core hops in spec and says, "Hold up, wait a second."
Oh, no.
So it's with Badlands, is it something where it's being played in the season as well, or is it just being played for LAN?
So this is a LAN comeback. I think
a LAN exclusive
to give the boomers something to hope for and to really make it the all-time Australian LAN. I think bringing back Badlands is part of the theme there. So we're going to have it just for this special event, really.
I like it. I like
it is not
the return to
voted
form.
back. I'll tell you that much. It is not voted for the league.
The boomers are crying right now.
The boomers are crying, but unfortunately, scouts just can't handle small chokes anymore. They don't make them like they used to.
Yeah.
And here we go. Huh?
As soon as they play on maps where they can't be leashed around for fun, their brain and I have to think and engage with the game. That's just like too much for them,
Any scout born after 2003 can't sit not on high ground without 185 health.
Yeah,
it just isn't feasible.
See, I'm not like one of these guys. I'm built different. I had a top 10 tier 2 player of the month on Badlands. I definitely didn't just bait my team for the entire match.
I was about to say, the funny thing about you being in that top 10 play is that you bait your entire team and just like clean up on a little bit of damage.
I did like brutal fought mid fight, my team fighting an uphill battle, and I just walk in afterwards after baiting them the entire bit. See, that's how we used to do it back in the days. Not like these scouts trying to contribute to the team. No, we baited for clips.
Now all the scouts they have their 240 hertz monitors and their Ritalin aim and all this stuff, and it's too much, man. Too much. Give me the soldiers on the shotgun pocket. That's the stuff I want to see.
Get these genetically modified Kovacs people that can just do anything.
Yeah, I mean, we should ban from Scout anyone who's got Kovacs installed. Honestly, it's disgraceful.
Pre-game pause, isn't that fun?
We should have only our demo men with Kovacs.
I think we should ban anybody with Kovacs aim. Then anybody if you while you're playing come up sniper, you have one opportunity to make a shot. If you miss a shot, your computer automatically turns into a pipe bomb, detonates. I think that's a fair change.
Just give the sniper one ammo on his clip.
One ammo.
Yeah.
25 health.
One ammo, and he gets a new one every time he gets a headshot.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's balance. That is good balancing.
That's balance right there. You know, take notes. Take notes, Val. All right.
Actually, that's another good point about this map is that the entire map is just 3 long sightlines.
Brady back on sniper.
Yeah, Brady might honestly be back on sniper for this one.
I actually think if anyone's going to go sniper, it might be Bossy Burger. All right, I'm going to need to get you guys to help here because I've been desperately sending messages in Mumble and that hasn't been working. So does anyone know how to stop the POV auto switching in Spectator? I don't have my config, all right?
No idea, but I'm sure Mitch will tell you in your ear while I'm talking over him. Turns out it's spec_autodirector0 for anybody who can't hear Mitch. I will take credit, you know. Listen, I woke up at to be up at 4 a.m. to be on the cast here. I'll take whatever credit I can get, Luggnuts. Luggnuts, I'm still curious. Like, what are you wearing over here, man?
Well, I'm wearing this is the Saturday Times or something hat. These some sunglasses.
This is a fake start. No worries.
Somewhere, and I got on both my Rembrandt jacket, you know, tailor made, and a dressing gown. For maximum.
You look like you look like the TF2 demo man right now.
Well, you know,
we're live, by the way.
Yeah.
Oh shit.
I'm gonna leave you two to cast. Good luck.
Oh, cool.
Cheers,
all right.
Yeah. So first mid, and they're actually rolling out the house side, and it's an immediate just almost full wipe for Salt Free. Now it's a full wipe, but they do pick up the med. So well done for Salt Free, but that's going to be the first mid to Burger Esports.
Yeah, that was
immediately cap time.
We were talking so much, hyping up the boomers, saying they really had that soldier gameplay going, and then they immediately just choke like that, ruin everything. I mean, they're on last now. Do we see any off classes at all? We see a pyro.
We've got a pyro. We got up on the pyro, and Skaz up on the sniper class. So where's the sightline on the last tier? And Sean's actually going to be the first pick. Not something that you want to have happen on this last point. This last point is extraordinarily cramped. Holy crow! It's been a long time since I've seen Badlands last.
Yeah, this is a grim point. But I mean, this is looks fantastic for the defense here.
Yeah, they immediately.
Yeah.
Go on. Go on.
They lost Dalton, but I mean, they got Sean there. There's a soldier tray down the bottom left. Oh, this is Badlands. The Badlands we know and love. I'm expecting a back cap any moment now.
Let's see it. My body is ready. There actually is a spy up on Burger Esports.
Oh, God,
Mobile, no. as I come to know him. Dalton, as he said, is called on my screen.
I'm calling him Dalton, man. I can't deal
I'm
with
just gonna commit to Dalton. Commit to Dalton
now. Yep.
Big dudes.
Yeah, I'm calling people by their names on screen, and that's it. So the Lampshade 22. Yeah, we got Uber on both medics, of course. Spy is up. He's gonna go for the back cap, I think. He's gone for the back cap right now. But where's the rest of his team? Like, surely they would have run some kind of interference, not just scout on Spy on point. Because that's given them a 2-player pick for the defense. However, being Badlands, they can't really push out this, honestly.
Well, they can start pressuring, and hopefully a pressure for them turns into a frag. But yeah, the narrow, cramped hallways of Badlands last means that Wigan is just going to be destroyed by R. Lucky. And Dalton, Big Doots as we've come to know him as, he's up on Pyro. So still obviously looking for that entrance and way of breaking last, but Smazza and R. Lucky are going down. And then the Pyro is causing some sort of havoc somewhere. It looks like in the right-hand channel. I don't know what any of the Badlands last call-outs are, by the way. We're just making up as we go along.
I've long forgotten. I can pull up the old notes we have in some different mentality folder somewhere, but
yeah, just pull up all the notes from who was that guy you played with at LAN that wore the suit?
A-Bender.
A-Bender. Yeah,
Absolute
big A-Bender.
legend. Yep.
We love A-Bender here.
Sniper Pyro. Oh, we absolutely love it. Okay, we now have a sniper on Bossy. They did manage to get a frag there, but they did trade one. Cobra 9 as well. Wigan down as well. That's a 1-player advantage. This is definitely enough for them.
So now they're starting to pressure in more. Pengs has actually entered on the right-hand side. The Pyro is on the point. They're just taking the Pyro on the point. There is an exchange that's going to happen, and they're just dropping everybody. The spawners have arrived. Skazza and Smazza. The fight has not gone the way of Bossy Burger Esports. At
really
least for that
Salt-free either, honestly.
Yeah, I was about to say it looked so good and then it didn't look so good. They do pick up Snazzy. There's the sniper Smazza, and now they're actually pushing out. Now this is really hectic.
Yeah, okay, so I feel like the problem is you don't want to Uber the Pyro there on the point. You want to Uber, well, even if you do want to Uber the Pyro to push other people away, you want other non-Ubered players there or something, right? They didn't really do that. We do have a possible back cap here. It's going to depend on Brady versus Scout. And Brady does get it, though, so...
But the cavalry has arrived to defend Spire, one of everybody's favorite MGE. I don't know why I said it like that.
Yeah, who's added fun? Yeah, this is the problem actually, is that the boomers decide to pick the MG map, you know? That's not how it's supposed to go. You know these zoomers have been on that shit 24 hours a day.
They've never played Badlands before in their life, but they have played enough Ad 4 and Ad 5 to make it work.
That's why I it's so easy. I was like, well, we saw a stalemate there. That's not actually super surprising for Badlands. It's more or less what we expect on this map.
I feel like they had to, like, do we want a stalemate or do we want to actually push out? And I think the stalemate won the day. And so next mid, early spam being exchanged, no real massive damage. Brady is going to bomb in. He pops up Michael's soup. Does he get the follow-up rocket? He doesn't. Brady and Wigan have gone down. Skaz and Snazzy have gone down. And now it's just Sean and Catfish, and they have gone down as well. And the Zoomer Ad 4ers have won this mid as well.
Does that sound like a slur, Jazz?
I don't know. I say that like as if like I'm pretty sure Pengsta's been around for like quite a while. I could be wrong.
Anyone whose name we recognize is a boomer by this stage, right? So our Lucky, Smazza, Pengsta, you know, they might as well be boomers, right?
I was telling Turris that I remember losing to Smazza in the season 26 Open semifinal. And he's gone on to play Prem, and I've gone on to have a salary. So, no, I love a lot of respect for Smazza. No. Same with Cobra and R Lucky, and the Uber does come in, and they're gonna catch out Snazzy. And the frags are just all going in the way of Burger Esports. And it's just a total collapse. Salt-free, full wipe, first round, Burger Esports, 1-0 on the board.
I love it how they stalemated back to mid to get an even worse mid fight than they had the first time. Full Uber, and I mean, they just went textbook. And then the off-classing was grim. I'm not gonna lie. Like they had a sentry gun in pocket. It's a grim choice, you know. See, I remember
It kind of looked like they knew they had to get off classes. They just forgot where they all went.
They didn't even really have time to set up off classes. Man, that sentry was left behind. That wasn't good. But
they
do
pick
get
up
another shot
Pengsa
at that.
early on. Yep, Ara Lucky going down as well, and so does Cobra. So this is a much better mid for Salt-Free Gaming.
Is Catfish running a loose cannon?
I hope so.
Oh
I hope
my
so.
God.
Is he?
Why, Jazz? Holy shit. Okay. Well,
that made getting up at the 4 a.m. worth it. Just seeing that.
Wait, what is going on right now? Okay, we had last was almost capped, but right now it does look like Spire is going to be retaken by Bossy Burger. So
I didn't even see that they captured second. Oh,
yeah, I know, right?
We're washed at this capping thing, or this casting. Casting. It is going to be Burger Esports taking exchange, trying to get through the choke point on to mid with Skaz and Sean both dead. It's going to be Salt. Oh, Ara Lucky with a huge bomb, picking up Snazzy, and now it's again just a dominant push in. But actually, no, there's a back cap. There's Wigan on the back cap. Does he get it?
Oh, he's so close. No,
Shirley,
he's not gonna get it. No, just not. Did they have no players through? No, no one could actually have blocked mid at all there. I feel like if they knew
Wigan was the only person up. He was the only one up.
I feel like if they knew Wigan was behind there, or maybe going to be behind, that could have been communicated a little bit better to have some players left over to block mid, because just a fraction of a second blocking mid, and that would back would have worked, but you know.
I think it was one of those things where it was just like there's a lot of chaos in the push and the retakes and the repushes and the refights and all these things that he's like, you know what, I'll see you guys later. Good luck.
Yeah, pretty much.
And a basic guy, guys, I'm going for a back cap. Like everybody dies, and he feels like real proud of himself. Yeah, you know.
Boomer maneuver.
I'm bringing them all back. You know?
See, it's not.
We're all dead. Doesn't matter.
Yeah. See, it's not just me. All right, this is
congratulations. We're still back on our last. They are going to Uber in through the left. It's going to be a solo on Smazza. Batman versus T-Rex. They're starting to lock players out of the left side, and Smazza is on the point, and he's just taking advantage of the super fast cap. 2-0.
I think
that's cap. That's cap, I think, as the Zoomers say. That's cap.
Indeed. That was a cap, I believe, yes.
That's right.
See,
he rinsed up the point. I'll stop.
Oh, no, Jazz, please. All right, we've got another mid here. I think Salt-Free definitely needs to win this mid, otherwise, you know, it's all over for them. Of course, things are looking really rough. They need to get some momentum back. Unfortunately, Demo Man just deleted. He was trying so hard to get some heals, but, you know, standing in the middle of the choke, begging for heals.
Yeah, and it is, there was Ara Lucky living behind. Cobra's living behind as well in Valley, I believe it's called. So if
they're
they
not being
can keep
supported by their team at all.
Yeah, but you know, it's bad.
Yeah, fair enough. I mean, I feel like at this stage there's a chance for something to happen, but I mean, you can go pretty slowly here as Bossy Burger because you don't really have to worry too much about any time pressure. You can just sit here happily and wait for things to go your way, which they kind of have right now.
That's some ape-ender strategy right there. Let's just stalemate the game out.
Hey, it works sometimes.
We can't even do that in North America anymore because we have to we have the new config where it's like after 30 minutes, it's whatever the highest point total is plus 1 unless you get 5. So like there is no stalemating. There's always like you have to push. There is a fight.
Ooh, drop heaven.
Brady with a rocket, just killing old Michael Soup right there. Pengsta and Smazza going down as well. They've got to be careful because they do have Dalton, big dudes on the back cap, bringing players back. But for real this time, Ara Lucky trying to get in and kill Smazza, the Lampshade 22, and a big bomb coming in from Cobra as well. But it's not going to amount to anything.
You have a scout trying to back cap here, but you just got to add 5 crazy hard. And so we're going to actually see Saltfree managing to capture mid and see if they can push forward. They do have Uber advantage as well. So, I mean, things are going to be all about the second point. It does look like second is mainly being abandoned mostly. So, you know, they should have a pretty easy cap here, but anything could happen.
Yeah, it's just a bit of a soft hold with some single deading going on from Pengsta. Brady actually is looking to make his entrance into lobby, but he's well covered by Cobra, saying, no, you're not going to get it.
Do you have a heavy on last? So that is at least one off class. I mean, for this one, I usually like, especially when you have that amount of time, I would like to see the engineer, you know, and the pyro probably. I mean, hell, you can kind of off class like that on this last. You don't really need anything but off classes, really. But I mean, they chose what they did. Uber has come in, Uber trade, which I don't know why they really went with that. I mean, they thought they had ad, I guess, right? But ad was not that big. Not enough to keep second, I think, kept last.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky one there. I think they had ad. They might have thought they had ad.
That's how they kept second, because they had ad, right? But if you kept 1 point with ad, then you can't get the next point, right?
Nah, because I when you said they had ad, I had to look at both sides of my screens, and Michael Soup actually had more Uber.
No way.
Yeah, so your Uber counting's a bit off here, Luggnuts. What's going on here, buddy?
Alright, I'm gonna be entirely honest with you, Jazz, as a friend. I can't actually see anything out of these glasses. They're so dark. I've just been guessing at what's happening on the screen so far, honestly. Also, I have prescription glasses, so everything's blurry as well, and I'm getting a headache, so things are grim on my end.
Just committing to the bit, looking like the TF2 demo man IRL. Love it.
Yes.
Yeah, so they're going to take an Uber exchange. It's not even an exchange, because Michael Soup does not have Uber yet. Skaz does manage to chase down Pengsta, and it's just Michael Soup and Ara Lucky who are the only ones alive on the side of Burger Esports, and they are just going to back out all the way, and this is going to be an opportunity for Saltfree to capture the second point and at least get some space in the lobby, maybe get a force offer, see if they can get players under and behind and through to pressure that last cap, but it's
but they might
could get
Pengsta. Well.
Yeah, they pick up Pengsta, are lucky too, and Sean and the Lampshade, Azzy, living as well. So they will have, they could have slight Uber advantage, but Snazzy has not been healing too much. So if they have Uber advantage, it's only going to be about 20. And one thing I'll say about Burger Esports is that they have done quite a quite a good job. Good lord, it's 5 a.m. where I live, everybody. They've done a good job at building up their Uber, always building when they've got the downtime, when they have the opportunity. So any advantage could be nullified. But as I say, that Saltfree is coming up on their Uber, and they're looking to see if they can burst through the choke. But all the lads on Burger Esports are holding back well into safety. They do pick up Cobra, so that could be the entrance frag right there for them. And can see Michael Soup starting.
Things are really bad for them. They want to try to force this point, but shit, that's so rough. That's a really good point.
Yeah, Snazzy had to surf away from Ara Lucky, and then they just put him in a position where the pressure was being turned up on him in other areas, and the Uber does get forced from out. Yeah.
The catfish back cap.
Nice.
Oh no.
They're like, you guys back cap? Well, we can do that too. Don't worry. You know how this game works.
Cap. Both their caps have been legit.
Well, I saw it. I was like,
"Demo go behind."
Yeah, I saw Catfish just like, I'll go behind. I'll do it. Interesting. So now, is this the fourth mid? Because we have the stalemate mid.
This is the fourth mid, yes.
The fourth mid of this LAN qualifier. Brady going down. Well, whatever mid it is, it's not going in the way of Saltfree Gaming. It's Catfish, Lampshade, Sean, and Brady all going down. Same with Wigan. Bossburger Esports, we're like, you know what? That's a one-off. We'll give you this one. Now have captured. They're capturing mid. Soon to capture second with a huge Uber advantage going into last. Not enough time to get a gun, so all we see right now in terms of off classes is Sean on the Pyro. Williams up on
had
the.
enough time to get a gun there because the soldiers
They-
still on second.
They definitely had enough time to get up on the gun. Of course, Luggnuts, we know you. We love you. Love the engineer.
Really?
But,
How can you tell?
I remember the talks after LAN Downunder 2019 of all your strategizing, but we talk about more about that later. Sean managing to delay the Uber just that little bit. His sacrifice has not been in vain yet. Brady going down.
Actually,
And they've
sacrifice
just
kind of
forced-
was in game. There's 3 players down on the side of Salt Free. There's no hope they're winning this last.
Yeah. After they got pushed back into the back in the spawn, it was bad news Bears, bad news Salt Free.
I think when you're
gonna be
holding
the
this
round.
last, right, without your Like, first off, it's grim to impossible to hold, right? But I mean, you have to super commit to, I think, a full stalemate play to really hold that, because they've
Yeah.
tried the rotate through spawn strategy and it has not worked a single time so far. They've had 3 last days like that.
Did you say strategy?
Strategy.
I thought I heard like a weird new Kiwi accent strategy.
That is
Of course,
the weird
of course,
it's strategy.
Strategy. You got a strategy. G'day, mate. So that's
Cruel and
rough.
inhumane.
Mixing up my accents there. Not a good mid for Salt Free, by the way. Another definitive win for Burger Bossy Burger Esports.
You make them sound like an American team, honestly.
I mean,
Burger
I think
Esports.
I think it's really fitting that the one time the American makes his CappingTV re-debut, casting a team named Bossy Burger Esports.
That makes sense, honestly. And
So
it's
it's,
only fitting for my re-debut to be casting Snazzy, because usually he's the one sitting beside me, you know, talking shit.
Remember when we used to be the ones talking shit on the cast?
Oh, yeah.
We had a whole period of our lives where we were like the go-to Highlander casters for another casting organization, which Mitch has threatened me not to talk about on cast.
What's that, Mitch? Okay, man.
Which is
We won.
which is ironic because we both hate Highlander. This. Good times. Good times.
Good time.
I used to have a great Aussie-American hybrid accent too. Now I just sound like I'm from the Midwest. It has this mid retake has gone in the favor of Salt Free. There is a player living behind, but there is an Uber coming out on the side of Bossy Burger Esports. A solo on Spazza, trying to see if he can get catfish, but the loose cannon blasts him back, and they are going to lose 3 in the process.
Yeah, I mean, this is again. I think Salt Free is not coming out the best of these engagements, honestly. So now we have the it's push coming through, and look, just players dying left, right, and center. Feels like Salt Free needs to start doing some creative strategies. Right now, they've shown behind. I like this play from them, honestly, but he just doesn't have the health really. Did manage to delay the push though quite a bit.
Yeah, all I hear is like Sean's behind, and then I look up and I see like him in the kill feed as the one being killed. But like sometimes you do have to delay. Cobra trying to take a fight. Oh,
Big pipe from Gangster, spam through choke, takes down Snazzy. That's so grim for Salt Free.
he hit the 3 from distance.
What does that even mean?
The basketball terminology, where you can hit the 3-point if you shoot behind the 3-point line. So it's like the fadeaway. He jump shoots
Chaz,
it.
what are you talking
and-
about?
I coach soccer for a living now, so I speak in sports analogies.
Alright, man is a professional sports baller.
Yeah,
You do know
It's
that
funny.
both me and our viewers, being tier 2 players, have no clue what the outside looks like, right?
I forget these things. At some point, I stopped being terminally online and actually got a life. But
Although we don't see you casting anymore.
also because it's 5 a.m. Big Uber advantage being used in Smazza going in top left, pushing Wigan back into spawn, and a lot of the Salt Free gamers are now making their re-entrance Snazzy on the point, getting the cap time, but a lot of these salt-free gamers are on the low ground, but Catfish is just walking forward. Can they get Pengsta? Brady is shooting the wrong target. They shoot the right target this time. And so there's just Cobra lurking around. He's going to get found out by Brady, but he does get the kill. He's at least going to bring some players back. He's actually cooking on cooking Wigan a little bit. He's cooking. Let him cook. He does go down, and then Big Doots gets and picks up the 22. Imagine it's 5 a.m. where I live, by the way.
I don't think you have yet.
All right. Well, I'll resist from saying it. It's been a long time since I've casted. Like, I used to be really good at talking, and now. But another big Uber advantage on the side of Bossy Burger Esports. Working with about 50 at the moment. 7 minutes left on the clock. So if you're salt-free, it starts to become a do-or-die situation. Just thinking about the time implications. They have to hold this last, immediately go coast to coast, then win the next mid, and win that point in order for this to work. They do pick up Dalton first and foremost. Big Dude's going down. And it's just going to be Snazza on the cap. 2x on. And the salt-free gamers dropping left and right. And that is going to be 4th round on the board.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's it. That's it for salt-free, right? I don't think they can actually possibly win it now, right? Given the time.
Snazzy goes and says GG in the chat and then says, oh, once he realizes, oh, I have one more of these rounds I've got to play.
He thought this has been going for 2 years, honestly. He thought it seems long from our point of view. I mean, Snazzy feels like it's taken a marathon.
The control point is being contested.
Well, last mid, potentially last mid at the very least. And, yep, Sean going down, Catfish going down. And it is really not too good for salt-free gaming, must admit. Yep, really not too good.
Salt-free getting team up again, so I mean, well, maybe even though salt-free can't win this, at least maybe Bossy can get another round, you know, get it to the 5. They won't
you know what, Salt-free won the moral victory. Don't ask me how. I don't know. Trying to come up with some stuff.
I mean, they did force their opponent team to play Badlands, so I mean...
Yeah, exactly.
Who's the real losers here, right?
They forced a game of Badlands in 2024, and they had Snazzy play. That's a victory in my book.
In grim, man, honestly. I need to get back just to teach people how to play engineer on last. That's what we can going down, and yeah, this is over. Loose Cannon actually doing a little bit of work. Salt-free.
Yeah, it looks good for salt-free, but they pick up the Lampshade 22. Cobra ends up going down, and it's just Smazza going in. It just gets denied by the air blast. So it is going to be relatively even Ubers, and maybe enough time to at least start the pressure on the second cap.
How good is a Catfish?
Yeah, it's just
be at 5.
Catfish versus Pengsta.
Nah,
and
he cheated. He got a soldier with him.
Brady bombs in and just gets destroyed. Dude.
Oh dear. That's not good. And yeah, I don't think Sean's going to manage to make this either. Oh, there's a back cap going on as well. It's just... Oh no.
And the GG's in the chat.
Jazz. I feel like that's not exactly what you want out of the map that your team picked, you know?
I think for Salt-Free, they were just happy to be here.
Exactly, you know? I mean, they're Salt-Free, it's in...
They saw it as an opportunity to play Badlands in the year of our Lord 2024, and they took it. And then I say they're happy to be here, and I hear Mitch in my ears saying they were not happy to be here. So maybe they weren't happy to be here. Of course, they did try to ring Prem player Riot for the match. Or maybe that was the other team. I don't know. It's really early. We have logs, by the way.
All right,
5-1. Take us through the logs there, Luggnuts.
Pinkster did exactly as I expected. You know, I thought Pinkster was doing pretty well. No one really shut him down the entire game. He was just stomping. You know, maybe not running the loose cannon had a little bit to do with it, but you know, surely not, right? Apart from that, it really. It's the logs of a 5-1 game, you know, you're not really expecting to see too much else than what's on the screen, right? One thing I do want to point out, though, is that Snazzy did die 13 times, at least 2 of those being drops. Of course, I don't have the full logs before me, which is pretty grim, but also kind of expected when you're talking about dying on a mid and then dying on last immediately afterwards. So, yeah, that's basically the story of the game, if you will. I also want to point out, however, that we did see a remarkably small amount of deaths coming out of Pinkster and Smazzer, which is definitely not what you want to see, because especially a lot of the reason you choose Badlands in the first place is to make sure that those sort of high-performing players, especially those not playing Soldier, will get shut down a lot more by your heavy classes. So, yeah. So I mean,
Very good.
didn't quite work out.
Are we getting interviews, Mitch? I want to talk to some people.
Yeah, we should talk to someone. We should talk to Snazzy.
I just opened up my webcam thing, and I saw Luggnuts again.
Hey man, I might not be here to play the game, but that doesn't mean I can't be gaming, all right?
He's dripped out, man. He's
Exactly.
like I said, he looks he looked like the TF2 demo man.
Hey, is this racist? Like, is that what you're saying, man? Oh man, I swear, if you were wearing this, you'd be like the scout or something, not the demo man. But you know, shaking my head, honestly.
I don't know what I'd be. Are there any bald TF2 characters? Because that's what I when I was. This is how you know it's been a while since I casted on CappingTV. Last time I casted, I had hair. Now I don't. At some point in the last 3 years, it was like, later. It just fucking fell out.
Probably around the time you got a job, honestly.
Yeah.
Oh no. Okay,
let's look at some brackets. There are more games to be played.
So Bossy winning over Salt Previa does send them to the lower finals. What is the lower finals? Wasn't it the losers finals? So I've heard that apparently the person who wins the lower finals goes to LAN. So Bossy Burger now in the running. Of course, to get there, they will have to fight the dreaded. I was gonna say the dreaded temp, you know, but it sounds like a bit, right? It sounds like, you know, temp is on the bracket as a temporary thing while they find the team, but yeah, that's, you know, someone's crazy.